Hello everyone and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are here for episode number 2 of our playthrough slash RP series. And before I do get into the driving, I just want to note that last week I did mean to show the amount of money that we're at and all that kind of stuff at the end of the episode, and I did not. So the amount of money that we finished off the last episode with was $5,496. And then as far as career details go, we're still level 1. We're only at 176 XP. And that's pretty much all I really care about talking about. Obviously, if you want to see anything else, you can look at it here. And then the other thing I wanted to note real quick is that we did also add some, we as in me, I did also add some new rules to the series. Those are going to be in the description. They also were in the description of the first video, but I just didn't talk about them, and I'm still not going to talk about them. I'm just going to bring light to them. So if you did want to look at those rules, they are going to be in the description in full. And as usual, or I guess as I mentioned last time, I will be potentially adding and removing rules as the series goes on. If there's anything you guys would like to suggest, please feel free to comment that. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into the RP. Welcome back, everybody. We're picking up right from where we left off in the last video. If you did not see that last video, we took a load from Portland to Kennewick, and now we have got a load of grain from Kennewick back to Portland. So first time hauling doubles. Let's see how that goes. And then again, they did change trucks for me again. So it seems like that's just kind of what the company does. They like to change trucks around quite a bit. So far I've been in nothing but Mack Anthems, but still I've been in a different Mack Anthem every time. So we've got another one, and I guess we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get into the truck, get started on the trip. So we've done our pre-trip and everything. We are ready to go. Let's go ahead and get the lights on for safety. And I just realized that I do not have a GPS in this truck. So that is a bit unfortunate. I guess they didn't give me one. Let me go ahead and give a quick call to dispatch and see what we've got. Alright, so dispatch basically just said to map out my route and then try and just do it without any map. So, like he told me basically to map it out with a physical map. All the trucks get a physical map in them. And told me to just map out my route and then go for it. And if any of you are wondering, we are not allowed to use our phones while we're in our trucks. So that is why I'm not just like pulling out my phone and pulling up GPS on the phone. I did ask him about that, and he said no. So not a great thing, you know, not feeling super confident about this company anymore, that they aren't even willing to let me use a GPS on my phone. But you know, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I'm here, they're paying me well, so just got to do what we got to do. So obviously I'm starting rolling here. I've sort of mapped out my route. Honestly, I may kind of throughout the trip pull over and make sure I'm going the right way, you know, as I kind of go along. I do have my map off to my right on the seat, but obviously it's a little hard to look at, and again, just trying to be as safe as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the end of this road here, give one final look at the map, and then we will go ahead and start our actual journey, and I'll also give you guys a look at the map as well. Alright, so here's what we're looking at. We're going from Kennewick all the way to Portland. So I'm going to make a left out of here and then another left, and it's going to loop me around onto, let's see, 395 it looks like. And then from 395, we're going to take the junction towards Yakima. And then from there, we're going to go south on 82 towards Pendleton. And then from there, it's east on 84. And thankfully, I'm pretty familiar with 84. So the main thing I got to know is that once I get past the Walmart's over here in kind of the Troutdale area, I then have to head towards the airport, and I am delivering to FedEx at the airport. So don't know why they need 2 things worth of bulk trailers of grain delivered to a FedEx, but I don't ask too many questions. I just deliver. So let's go ahead and continue driving. Alright, so now we play the game of can I actually remember the directions that I just said. So I know first it was left out of here. And sight line is not very good. My goodness, I can't see either direction. Okay, we got a pickup truck coming that way. This one is real blind though. I mean, I cannot see anything that way. And of course there's a truck coming, but we're too late now, so sorry buddy. You're just gonna have to slow down and wait for me. Thank you. Sorry about that. Put signs in really bad spots. I promise it's not my fault. I feel really bad. Because I know that if I were that trucker, I would have been pissed if somebody pulled out in front of me. Because, I mean, I'm sure he couldn't tell that I couldn't see anything, but I don't know, maybe he could by how far out I was. I'll just hope that that's the case. He saw how far out I was and was like, oh, this guy probably can't see. He's probably going to pull out in front of me. And hopefully he was already slowing down or something. But again, I mean, both of us got to go on our merry way, so no harm, no foul. Stuff like that always makes me feel bad because I know I've got a little bit of a temper, we'll say. So I get pretty upset when people, you know, do stuff like that to me. So whenever I do it to other people, it makes me feel really, really awful. So yeah, I feel bad. Not a great way to start this trip, but you know, is what it is. I guess the trip had already started bad considering I don't have a GPS, but I digress. We're getting on the freeway now. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Hopefully we'll get into the flow of things and it'll all start to smooth out from here. So got the onto the freeway, made our left, and then kind of looped around, and then this is saying Yakima and Pendleton this way, so we can just follow those signs. And then next up we're going to follow the signs that are going to say south on, I believe it was 82 towards Pendleton, and then from there, again, pretty easy. So thankfully, again, we might not have a GPS, but thankfully the trip is fairly straightforward, not a lot of turns and stuff like that to have to deal with, so I think we'll be okay. Alright, 395 south towards Pendleton. That is what we're looking for, I believe. Right? I thought I said something about 82, but I mean, if this is saying towards Pendleton, that's what we want, so I guess we're gonna do this. Alright, speed limit slows down to 45, and we got somebody making a left or something. Backing up traffic. I don't know why these people are stopping, but whatever. This truck does not have the most power, that is for sure. Struggling a little bit to get back up to speed here. Plus, grain is definitely not usually very light, so. Alright. Continue south on 395 towards Pendleton. Man, all those other cars just take off, and I am stuck, left in the dust. Alright, I do feel like I remember this bridge, so I think we're on the right track, and obviously we're crossing over the Columbia River, so I think it's pretty safe to say that we're on the right track, and we should be able to get onto 84 West here in just a minute, and be able to head towards Portland. Portland in the left lanes. Oh, okay, yes, here we go. 82 towards Pendleton. Okay, we're on the right track. I did get a little confused there. I think I jumped ahead a couple steps, but again, we were able to follow signs. Everything was well marked, so that's good. It's good to know that even in the age of nearly every single person having a GPS, due to having a phone, it's nice that the signs can still be relied on when you don't have a phone to follow or a GPS to follow. Alright, speed limit is 60. So we're crossing into Oregon, or I guess we weren't crossing over the Columbia, or maybe that's an area where the Columbia splits, and so we were crossing over part of it, and now we're crossing over the other part of it. I'm not actually 100% sure on that, but either way, we're definitely heading into Oregon now, if we weren't already here. And again, we want 84 west, and looks like we got some police activity. Whoa, jeez, buddy. Thanks for letting me over. My goodness. Almost had our first accident there because somebody was in a frickin' hurry. Man, that's certainly will get your heart racing. I cannot believe that. I had my blinker on and had plenty of time, I thought, to get over, but he was flying. I mean, he was going so much faster. I guess, I don't know, maybe I was going slow. I guess I was going a fair bit below the speed limit, but still, that seems ridiculous. Alright, now speed limit 65, so we'll get cruise control set there. And now we just got a nice long cruise along 84 till we get to Portland, and then again we'll make that right at that one junction and head towards the airport, and then we will head into the FedEx part of the airport and get this stuff delivered. Oh man, my rookie is showing, that is for sure. My goodness, that was another close call. I am just having an off day today, I guess. But you know what? I'm not one to hide my mistakes. So you guys will see it all. You guys will, hopefully, if any of you are looking to become truckers, you can learn from my mistakes, because that was definitely a situation I should have just slowed down. I was not paying enough attention. Should not have tried to change lanes there. I should have just slowed down a little bit more instead of putting myself and others into a dangerous situation. So I'm glad everything turned out okay, but that was a close call. That is already 2 close calls just today alone, and that is not what you want. That is for sure. Alright, gonna learn from the mistakes last time. And they're starting to slow down because there's an off-ramp here. And that time, we kept a safe distance, didn't try and change lanes or anything, and as you can see, it worked out quite a bit better. So obviously, it slowed me down quite a bit, but I'd rather that than crash into somebody. So I'm already learning from my mistakes and applying what I've learned. And then obviously, you probably already noticed, but I cut out, some of the driving, and I'm probably going to cut out quite a bit more. And that is just because we literally just did this drive in the last video, so I would basically just be saying the same things and pointing out the same things. So there's not really any reason for me to show you all of it again, except for when stuff happens like that. I was so focused on talking and was not paying attention to signs that told me to probably slow down for that corner, and obviously now we've got rain as well, which I'm sure affected that. So yeah, I think I should probably shut up and focus on driving now, since first time driving a truck in the rain, and obviously we've already had plenty of close calls for today. So I'm gonna shut up, focus on driving. Alright, we do have a way station coming up here. Let's see if they stop us. Wow, we got the green light. I gotta be honest, I was kind of expecting to be stopped, especially having some grain trailers. I feel like usually grain trailers, they seem to pull into way stations more often because usually the grain haulers are the ones that are overweight. But they didn't call us in, so we're good to just keep on rolling. Alright, so here we are driving through Troutdale, which means that our junction where we're turning towards the airport is coming up. We're going to take 205 north, and then the airport, I believe, will be the first exit once we're on 205 north. So we are closing in on our destination. We haven't had any further issues, thankfully. Again, that was a bit of a rough trip, at least at the start for sure. So again, live and learn. Still a rookie. This is obviously only my third trip. First time with doubles, first time without a GPS, all that kind of stuff. I know, not an excuse to drive like an idiot, but I guess I'm just kind of trying to, I don't know. I'm trying to validate myself, I guess, in a way. I know I probably shouldn't validate myself for bad driving, but I'm just trying to make myself feel better, I think. Alright, and sure enough, it is the first exit towards the airport. I believe we want to be in the left lane that exits. And then we are going to make a left towards the airport. Alright, I'm going to swing all the way out into the outside lane. And then I actually think I want to be in the left lane. Alright, so I'm in the right lane because I swung wide from the turn to make sure that I wasn't going to block the intersection because the left lane was a little backed up. But now I got to get into the left lane. And we were able to do so. So I don't think I'm making a left here. Pretty sure it's at the next intersection after this one where I'll make the left. Because I believe this is, yeah, that's for like the market and some of the stuff that's just kind of near the airport for, when people first land. That's not actually the logistics area just yet. Alright, let's see, what do those signs say? Just logistics area left lane. Okay, perfect. I think it's saying to turn here. Hopefully. Air Cargo Road, that seems pretty promising. I'm hoping that this is it. It's gonna be real unfortunate if I gotta get turned around or something. Although I guess I would hope that the road would loop through so I don't have to turn around. I can just kind of continue on through and turn around that way. Alright, let's see. Yep, that's FedEx. Okay, perfect. We nailed it. We are all good to go. So let me go ahead and park up here just real quick, talk to the guards at the guard shack and figure out where they want this to go. Alright, so they made my life nice and easy. They literally just want me to pull straight forward and drop the trailers right in front of me. So that is pretty sweet. Don't have to do any, disconnecting of the trailers and then backing one into one dock or anything like that. They said, nope, you're just going to drop them off. I guess the reason that they're taking them here is actually just to transfer it to a different company. So, or transfer it over to have somebody else pick it up. So they're not actually unloading the grain here, nor are they doing anything really with the trailers. That's why this delivery is happening. I mentioned earlier I thought it was kind of weird that we were delivering two bulk trailers to a FedEx, but this is why. It's basically just like kind of the midway point. and we're transferring it over to a different company. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and get the trailers unhooked, and we'll see what my company wants from me next. I'm assuming this will probably end my day, and we'll get some rest and then start up again tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright, so it is a new day. Obviously it's pouring rain, so I'm going to go ahead and get in the truck and then talk to you guys, but I wanted you to see what the truck looks like and load looks like and stuff like that. So here it is. I'm getting in the truck. Okay, now that I'm in the safety and comfort of the truck, I'll kind of update you guys. So last night, after that delivery, I bobtailed back to the home terminal. I was close enough that, I mean, it just made sense to do that. And then spent the night at home, and now it is about 6 a.m. And I drove down to Salem, and then I am now in my truck for the day. And the reason I say for the day is because we are driving all the way to Montana. We're going to Missoula, Montana, I believe it was. As you will see, I am in another truck of ours, though, that does not have a GPS. So, very unfortunate and feeling a bit frustrated about that. But, I mean, it is what it is. And again, this one pays great. I'm getting paid really, really well, so I can't complain too much. I'm just going to have to work on mapping out the route again, I guess. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my pre-trip, and we will get rolling to Missoula. Alright, pre-trip is completed. Truck is all good to go. Lights are on. Wipers are on. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at the map. Also show you guys what our route looks like. And we'll go from there. Alright, so obviously first part of the trip, fairly similar, except for that I'm going to have to go north on 5 to get into Portland. But then obviously we do pretty much the same thing we've already done a few times. We go up to Kennewick. So obviously probably not going to show you guys much of the first half of the trip. But then once we get past Kennewick, we're going to do a lot of new driving. We're going to go through Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and Thompson Falls. And then sure enough, we are going to be finishing up in Missoula. So again, thankfully, the trip seems fairly straightforward. Even though I won't have a GPS, I don't think I'll really need it all that much. I think maybe just when we get closer to the destination. But again, I mean, this first half of the trip is all very familiar. And then the second half that's not familiar, we're just basically staying on 90 until we get to Missoula. So should be fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and start driving, and I probably will catch you guys in Kennewick. Alright, I know I said I wasn't going to record until Missoula, and I literally haven't even gotten out of my original spot yet. But that's just because I think on the last delivery, my camera might have done something weird. My field of view settings on my camera here may have gotten adjusted. So I do apologize if the field of view was a little weird. I've got it back to what it normally is. I've kind of had that issue with this camera a few times. I don't doubt that that'll be the last time, but just wanted to make everyone aware that you're not freaking out if you did think it looked a little different. It did. Yeah, field of view settings got messed up somehow. So we're all good now. And hopefully I'll remember to make sure to check on that before every job, so that way you guys aren't getting switched back and forth between the field of view on the camera here. All right, we still have not made it out of Salem yet, and we've already got some interesting developments. Looks like we've got a detour. They've closed down I-5 North, at least in between these two exits. Looks like, ooh, maybe another trucker had some sort of issue. Hopefully everybody's okay. Thankfully it doesn't look like the detour is going to be too bad. Oh yeah, it looks like he was just overloaded in the middle or something and the trailer collapsed. So again, thankfully the detour is not too crazy. It's just basically we just take the exit ramp and then have to take the on-ramp to get back on the freeway, which means we now have to deal with this light, and so obviously all the traffic from the freeway is sitting here. So it's been backed up for a little bit now, but could be a lot worse. Did that guy just run a red light? pretty sure he just ran a red light. He said, screw this detour, screw the red light, I'm going for it, I guess. I've made a lot of mistakes already in this video, but hey, at least I haven't ran any red lights. Alright, I made my first not having a GPS error. Thankfully, I realized pretty quickly, I was like, this bridge and all this doesn't look familiar. And we've got a red light here, so I was able to take a quick glance at my map. I did exit too early. I was going to head north on 97 towards Yakima, and that is not what we want to do. We want to go north on 82 towards Kennewick. So, again, glad I caught it, but still wasted a bit of time there taking the exit and all that. So, yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. Alright, here we go. 82 towards Kennewick. We've got the right exit this time. This looks a lot more familiar. Glad that glad that I got that figured out and that now we're on the right track. Alright, we got another green light for a way station. I cannot believe how lucky we have gotten with way stations lately. I'm very, very thankful, but I'm also very shocked. We just have not been getting stopped, which is sweet. Alright, so the nice thing is with going this direction, I can basically just follow the signs to Spokane, and that will get me onto the interstate that I need. Like we said, Interstate 90, which will take me all the way to Missoula. So I think we're pretty much home free as far as directions go, so that's pretty sweet. Because I basically, once I got off of the highway, so far I've just followed signs towards Spokane, and we're doing pretty good, I think. So hopefully no more close calls. Alright, so we are on 395 now. We are heading towards Spokane, which means that we are now getting into some new territory. Looks like we do have another way station coming up in a mile, so let's see if my luck is finally going to run out and I'm going to get pulled over. But again, either way, we're now into new territory, so now I'm going to actually have the camera rolling and probably show you guys most of this, even if I'm not talking. You know, it's new stuff for you guys to see. And look at that, yet another green light. I am just in disbelief, and in the best way possible. I am very thankful, but this is crazy. I don't think I've ever heard of any of my other trucking friends that have gotten this many green lights in a row. I am just getting that newbie blessing, I guess. Alright, we're in Washington, so we've got a separate speed limit from the other vehicles. Our speed limit is 60, and we're now getting into those flat areas. Now that we're kind of starting to get into the eastern side of Washington, we're no longer in the mountainous, foresty areas of the Pacific Northwest. We are now getting into the dry lands. Obviously, we still got some hills and stuff and rocks, stuff like that, but it's starting to get a bit more dry. I mean, obviously it's pouring rain, but you get what I'm saying. The grass is not green necessarily anymore. And we're starting to get into the farmland more so than, you know, forest and logging areas. Which, I gotta be honest, I think this kind of stuff is just as pretty as the forests are. I just love nature in all of its natural forms. Alright, and we gotta remember, so we got a junction coming up in a mile. We're going to stay on 90. And we're gonna head through Spokane. We don't want to go towards Seattle, obviously. So we gotta pay attention to that. So let's see. It looks like we're gonna be in the right lane. No. We're gonna stay in these lanes. I mean, I guess I am still staying in the right lane, but I'm not taking the exit, is what I'm saying. We are staying on 90 East. And yes, in case you were wondering, It has been raining for this entire trip. There has been no lightning up in it. It has been raining this heavily the whole time. I guess that's what I should expect living in the Pacific Northwest, but I do kind of wish I would get a break. Alright, right lane ends. I don't think my trailer's clear of that guy, but hopefully he'll let me over. And he did. Perfect. And then we gotta get over one more time because we are not wanting to exit for any reason. And let's see, I didn't even think to check how we're doing on fuel. And we are starting to get a little low on fuel. So I may have to stop here somewhere and just get some gas. Or, sorry, not gas, diesel. This truck does not run on gas. But yeah, gonna have to stop maybe and get some diesel. Not entirely sure, actually. We're at about a quarter tank. I might be able to make it. I might just call dispatch and see what they want from me. See if they want me to get fuel or if they just want me to try and go for it. I have a feeling they'll probably just tell me to go for it. I mean, either way, whether I get fuel now or they have to get fuel after I switch trucks or whatever, they're still paying for it either way. So I don't think it'll really make too much of a difference. I think it'll mainly depend on how soon they want the load delivered. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a quick call, see what they want. Alright, so I just got off the phone with dispatch. He said the load is in no rush whatsoever. He said I've still got like 30 hours or something before it needs to be delivered. I guess they were expecting me to have to take a rest stop during the delivery, but again, I started off with fresh hours and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they were expecting me to not be able to get through the whole delivery in one day, but that is not the case. So got plenty of time, which means I'm going to stop in Coeur d'Alene to get some fuel. There's a nice rest stop, like apparently right off of one of the exits. So dispatch said to basically just keep an eye out for those signs in Coeur d'Alene for the fuel exit. Take that exit, get some fuel. He said basically just fill up the truck, make sure that you can make it, and then that way they've got a truck full of fuel for the next person, and we're all good to make it the rest of the way to our delivery. So that is what we're going to do. He said there also is a fuel stop in Spokane, but it's a little less convenient. I guess the one in Coeur d'Alene, we like take the exit, and the exit basically brings you straight into the fuel stop, and then like you go straight across the intersection into the fuel stop, and then once you make your fuel stop, you just make a right turn and you're on the on-ramp for the 90 East. So in Spokane, I basically would have, I don't think it was this exit, I think I would have had to take this next exit, make a left, go down the street a little bit, get fuel, and then come back to the same intersection that I was at and make a left and get back onto 90 East. So I said whatever's easier sounds better to me, and that is why we were going to be stopping in Coeur d'Alene instead of here in Spokane. Yep, sure enough, there is the fuel station down there. It looks like a Love's or something. That would have been where I would have stopped had I decided to stop in Spokane instead. But again, we're continuing on to Coeur d'Alene, and we should be there in just a minute. So there we go. Welcome to Idaho. And it is not this first exit. I believe it is the second Coeur d'Alene exit that we got to take. Hopefully there will be some signs or something that we can follow. This is the second exit. It's not looking very promising. It looks like that goes pretty much straight up into some industrial stuff, and does not look like what he described with, going straight into a fuel station. He literally made it sound like you come off the on-ramp and the intersection, if you go straight, you're going into a rest stop. So there's only one more stop in Coeur d'Alene, or one more, excuse me. There's only one more exit in Coeur d'Alene, and it didn't look like either of those two were what he was talking about. So I'm assuming it is going to be this next one. And in making that assumption, I'm going to take the exit no matter what. And then that way, even if it's not, we can at least take a look at a map and figure out, oh, there it is, gas exit 17, perfect. All right, now we know for sure that it's got to be this one. And now I don't have to do any of that guessing or checking or anything like that. So here we go, or 15, right? Did it say exit 17 or exit 15? Ah, shoot. Is this right? Okay, I think this is right. Oh, and I need to be in the right lane. Okay, I could have sworn the sign said exit 17, but this was exit 15. But either way, there's the fuel station right there. And it is pretty much straight across like he said. I don't know where the truck entrance. Oh, I guess this is the truck entrance. Okay. Wow, that was definitely an interesting exit. But it looks like we are all good. I think we just pull through here. Yep, sure enough. And then there's the on-ramp right to the right of us. So we are all set. So I'm just going to go ahead, shut down here, get some fuel, and we will continue on our journey in just a minute. All right, so like I said, I went ahead and just filled up. Obviously, I was filling up. But I went ahead and filled up so that way next person that gets the truck, they've got a full tank. I mean, I'm stopping anyways, so like, why not just fill the whole tank? So yeah, we are definitely all set now. We got to make a right turn out of here, and then another right turn. And of course, my mirror's in such a bad spot, but we are all clear. Got a green light. And now we make another right onto the on-ramp. And now we've just got a little bit further to go, and then we are going to be at our destination of Missoula. Man, this thing does not like on-ramps. Struggling quite a bit. Thankfully, this lane is plenty clear. Don't have to worry about slowing somebody down to 30 miles an hour because they can just go around me. Just like that, we went from being in flat farmlands to back into mountainous, foresty areas again. Again, boy, do I love it both. You can put me pretty much anywhere that's not a concrete jungle and I'll be happy. Alright, let's see what we got. Missoula is 109 miles away. So we are starting to close in, but we do still have a fair bit of driving left to do. And I gotta say, earlier it was raining about as hard as it is now, but it was at least still kind of sunny. The sun was peeking through a little bit. The sun has gone away, and now it is just overcast and rainy and gross. But the show must go on. Now it seems like it is starting to rain even harder. We are just getting all the weather today. Gonna go ahead and speed up those windshield wipers as fast as they'll go, just to be sure I can see nice and clear. Thankfully, one thing I will say about my company is they do a very good job at making sure the windshield wipers in all the trucks are very well maintained. Again, being based out of the Pacific Northwest, they kind of have to, because they're getting used all the time. But, you know, there are still companies out there based out of the Pacific Northwest that don't do that. So, I'm very appreciative that my company makes sure that these windshield wipers do not streak and stuff, make it hard to see. And, as I'm sure you noticed while I was talking, we did get yet another green light for this way station. So again, no, I think that's probably the last way station we're gonna see. So for this whole trip, we did not get stopped at a way station a single time. And even while working for, you know, being a truck driver so far, I think I've only had to pull into one way station, maybe two. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Very thankful. Got a pretty river that we're crossing over here. And we got some blue skies ahead of us. Hopefully that means that the, you know, the rain is going to lighten up at least a little bit. So far it has not, but I can hold out hope with the blue skies in front. Man, that is cool. The river runs like right along the exit and then right underneath the road. That is so cool. Wow, another really, really pretty view there. Very cool river. Lots of rivers here in Montana. Alright, and the rain, sure enough, does seem like it's lightening up at least a little bit. Enough that I can slow down my wipers from the fastest setting. And I do believe the next exit is going to be ours. Could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain. I guess we're gonna take it and hope for the best. This seems promising. It's a very long, sweeping exit, which is what I was told it would look like and kind of what I saw from when I looked at the map. I think we'll go ahead and just pull over real quick, double check our map to be sure. Alright, sure enough, it is the correct exit. So now I just gotta merge back in. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to stop at the uphill part of the off-ramp, but oh well. So yeah, this is the correct exit. We just make a right at the next light. Or, I guess not, it's not a light, apparently. We make a right at the next intersection, and then make another right after that, and then we just drive down that road, and it looks like that road pretty much ends at the place that we're delivering to. So, fairly easy. Hopefully it is actually as easy as it sounds and looks to be. So it should be down at the end of this road and then either on the right or the road just like ends at the place that I'm delivering to. It's one of the two. So I don't go off that direction, which is just a little U-turn kind of dealio anyway. Or turnaround, I guess is what they're officially called. And then, okay, the road does not end, but this is where we're delivering to, right here off to the right. So let's go ahead and get set up here. I'll go ahead and actually pull into the facility and then ask them where they want the trailer. So let's go ahead and just pull forward to here, and then we'll stop, park it up, and see where they want it. Alright, so there's basically just a parking spot along that back wall over in front of me there, and that is where they want it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull around this fuel station here and then loop back around because they're angled parking spots, as you can see. So they want it in between that blue trailer, blue flatbed, and that reefer trailer right there. So yeah, again, gonna pull around here, get facing the correct direction, and then we'll go ahead and back it in. Does sort of mean it's gonna be a blind back. So not super ideal, but again, knew it would happen someday. And at least in this situation, I'm in a day cab where I can still see what's going on, and I've got a flatbed, so I can see all the way down to the end of the trailer, and it should be pretty easy to make sure that I am not hitting anything. So for it being my first blind back, it's really not all that blind after all. And I actually may still be able to set this up in a way that I can do most of it not blind, but we'll see. Alright, and as usual, the company trucks do have the backup beeper. And I think actually I can probably just still lean out the window rather than trying to turn my neck around this way. I think I can actually just roll down the window and then lean out here, and yeah, I can see plenty. So again, not really too much of a blind back after all. Well, I guess I can't really get my head around that far, but that's okay. Looks like we're still doing pretty good anyway. And again, yeah, we were able to line it up in a way where it's not really too much of a blind back after all. So that worked out very, very well. I'm not going in the most straight, but I think we're still good right here. Let me back up just a little bit further. You know what? I don't feel right about that. I'm going to go ahead and straighten out and then just back straight back in. That way the trailer's not all awkward. I just don't feel right leaving it that close to the Siva trailer and leaving it all crooked and everything for the next person to have a problem with. So there we go. That is quite a bit better. And we should be good right about here. Let's go ahead and get this window rolled up. And we'll drop the trailer and call dispatch. So obviously it is once again a new day, and once again it is raining. So let me go ahead and get in the truck real quick, and then I'll catch you up on everything that's happened. Alright, so after the dropping the trailer last night, I was out of drive time, so they brought me to this truck since it's got a sleeper. That way they didn't have to pay for me to stay in a hotel. So I slept in this truck last night, and then first thing this morning, I drove it on over here to this lumber yard, and, well, I guess not lumber yard, it's more of like a, you know, a deforesting site. But picked up some logs, and so obviously I'm going to end the video here just because this probably is already fairly long, but we are all set up for the next delivery. So I'll be picking right back up from where we leave off here, and let me go ahead and check real quick where we are going. We are going down to Jackson, Wyoming. So we've got nothing but new driving to do. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. So I will see you guys in that next video. Peace. Alright, out of RP now, obviously. We're going to do what I should have done at the end of the last episode and did at the beginning of this one, but that is to cover the money. So we are at $18,149 now. We are definitely working our way towards our first used truck. However, I will say the cheapest used truck available right now is still $81,000. So we still have a pretty long ways to go. And then as far as the career goes, we are now at level 3. We are at 491 out of 900 XP for that. As far as other information here goes, again, I'm not going to go through all of this, but I will leave the screen up just for a second so you can take a look through it if you are curious. And while I am leaving this up, I will say my goodbyes. So thank you so much for watching. I'm having a ton of fun with this series, and I hope you guys are as well. If you are enjoying it, please make sure to drop a like. And if you have made it this far in the video and you are not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. It helps a ton. And I do hope to see you in the next video. So until then, peace out. Have a great day.